Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to the top of Mickey and Friends parking structure for this week's Star Wars Land update from Galaxy's Edge. I am solo this afternoon because Ian decided to go gallivanting off into Florida and Walt Disney World with Sarah, and they left me to do all the heavy lifting this week with the Star Wars Land report. Likely no witty banter this week, you guys, because the aforementioned Ian. Because you need a foil, you need a Hardy to your Laurel and an Abbott to your Costello, or I don't know which one is which, but well, we're both kind of tall and thin, so I don't know. Oh my God, we're already off to a good start. So there's Star Wars Land this week, you guys. You already saw a bit earlier where we're getting coverage from Big Thunder Trail, and we were seeing the rock work that is progressing on the facade of the Millennium Falcon attraction. We're going to kind of push in here a little bit to see how that's coming along from this side. You can see it pretty good. There was a lot of, it wasn't all the way there, obviously, but there's definitely rock to be seen on those facades and on those peaks. It's difficult to tell. The perspective is a little skewed from this angle, where those peaks are at in relation to each other. But obviously, I think that one's a little more forward in terms of, it's closer to the entrance of Frontierland, whereas this taller one is more to the rear of the land, I believe. I'm going to try to see if I can't figure out from the concept art again where those things are. I think I did it once before, but I wasn't positive where I was at. Still not. But there you go. That's the top of the Millennium Falcon building, and then you can see it feels like they just keep on building up on the roof of Battle Escape. And I don't know, I mean, some of that is probably, with purpose, but other parts of it maybe are just for mountains. I mean, we assumed those wards were, but I don't think so. I think those eventually will get covered in some way as a peak, perhaps, but if they were, they wouldn't still be boxy like that, would they? Like, that's a question for you guys. If those are going to be obfuscated in the future by rockwork, by mountain, on the roof of these buildings, would they still have that same boxy look? Or would they be putting, all those angled pieces and just, random things sticking out to create imperfections, to create variance in the rock? You know what I'm saying? Like, does that seem logical that they would still be boxy like that? That's almost too congruent. And I feel like you need incongruencies for nature. You know what I mean? Maybe not. I don't know. I could be both. I could be right and wrong. I could be right that nature is incongruous, but maybe nature also is congruent. Who knows? But it does look like there's quite a bit of action going on this roof line. Also, by the way, you may have noticed, Darth Vader's window's still there. They've really pushed along forward with all the, well, I don't know what you want to call it, if it's the studs or just the cross-thatching of all that steel. That's, they've pretty much covered the entire rear wall except for Darth Vader's window, his little, what do you call it, picture window. He gets, reflective sometimes. He wants to think about the future of the Empire and of the galaxy, and likes to look out into space and sort of think about it. It's kind of like that. It's kind of like that painting of JFK in the Oval Office, right? So JFK and Darth Vader are pretty much the same. That's the way I see it. Oh my God! Please help me stop. Not much more to see over here where the the collider and stuff, except that they've moved a ladder in there. That ladder is now in place, so they're definitely climbing something for reasons. But I don't really see any kind of noticeable change there. Same for the roof of this extended queue area that looks to be about where we left it last week and the week before. We slid down to the left of the parking structure, and last week we couldn't hardly see at all the areas that were being worked on, with the mesh and the rock work on Millennium Falcon. But this week you can see a little bit more clearly because the work has been advanced a little further. You can see those areas being worked on there. It looks like right next to it, doesn't it, from this angle? But it's actually quite a bit, separate. It's in front of it and to the left of it by a fair amount. from the main peak, from this peak right here. And then work is continuing on the roof line there. It's almost catching up to some extent to the sorry, I'm not sure, my battery just died, so I'm not sure how much that you guys caught, but I was comparing the progress of the two buildings, and there's a long view of Battle Escape and where it's heading, and you can see that the Millennium Falcon building is starting to catch up in terms of how far along it is. As a matter of fact, from this angle, you can almost see that they are doing the same kind of work on the back of the building. You can see studs going in, and part of the wall has been completed. As a matter of fact, let's slide more to the left to see that. Well, I thought maybe that was wall completed, but it could have just been, again, it's a trick of the angle. But if we slowly zoom in here, we can see that rear wall is getting, at least it's getting, studs, and that sort of cross thatching of steel beginning on that far left side. But I don't see any actual wall up yet. But they are also putting in, see, the safety rails going up there as well. It's like catching up by a great amount to Battle Escape, which is fascinating considering how far along Battle Escape was already before they had even started building the Millennium Falcon building. I said building twice. Now I'm not sure, I think I see some progress. You can see through part of the structure into the front of the land, Galaxy's Edge, and you can see where there's something, I can't tell what that is. Are those forms? Are those forms being built? Boy, where are those? I have no idea. My spatial reference is very poor from here, so I don't know where that is, but those look like forms, like what we saw them doing at the Q building, the Battle Escape Q building. It looked like that at one point, but that is definitely well forward of the Millennium Falcon building. It looks like, it's right in front of it, but that's well forward by probably 100 yards or so, I'm betting. Maybe not that much, but who knows, but I think so. It almost looks like it's all the way to the front of the land. I don't know if you guys can tell any better than I can through the lens. It's kind of hard to tell, but that is the first time I've seen like progress through these two buildings, work being done, other than just dirt on the well, I guess that's the near end of the land. We're looking at the back end of the land, the far end.
Wow, look at you! You know more than you think you do.
So there's Millennium Falcon. You can see the actual rock work being put in right here. There's I guess it's still just mesh mostly. Although, no, that's actual rock. Look at that. And it looks smaller from here than I remember when I was taking a good look in there. There's less going on, and that's the actual. Wow, you know what? I gotta get a photo. I gotta compare the photo, the concept art. I think there's concept art of this entrance into Star Wars Land. Look at that. There's nothing over there. What is that? It's Tatooine. It's amazing how much you can see through one little sliver. Wow. And just out of frame on the left is Battle Escape. We can't quite get there. Nope. That's why I want the other path to have an opening, because we can see Battle Escape a little bit, but they blocked that one off for some reason. And then there's the peaks that they're building. But that's it. There's not, I don't see a lot of new business going on here. Just the actual rock work that's going right there on Millennium Falcon. Okay, let's look back, see what we can see of Star Wars Land, Galaxy's Edge. You can see the top of the Millennium Falcon over there, and there's Battle Escape. bunch of bubbles. I can't really, I mean, it's just steel and wall going up. You can't really see much, but I guess it's moving pictures at least. And we stopped.
Knock it off.
Okay, actually, I think that's going to do it for this week, you guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this one-sided conversation that I had with you today on the Star Wars Land Report from Galaxy's Edge. I like saying it like that, Star Wars Land from Galaxy's Edge. I don't know. That's my way of saying it, but thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed. I'm going to go see if I can't find Darth Vader and tell him to, you know, finish that window or something. I don't know. We'll see you guys next week. Fresh baked and stuff, guys.